This is a short tutorial on how to use the clone tool in Photoshop. The clone tool is in your sidebar. It's on the left-hand side. It looks like a little stamp. It's actually called the clone stamp tool. And as you can see, it copies pixels from another part of the image to other parts of the image. So make sure that you've selected the clone stamp tool and not the pattern stamp. That's your first step. And make sure that you have selected the layer in which the thing you want to copy over, what you want to clone is in. I've made it easy because I've saved this image, so now it is all one layer. I can't edit it anymore, but I can add to it, which is nice. So the clone tool is selected. I am going to press Alt, and this target comes up, and I'm going to hover over the thing I want to copy. So I would like to clone this little star to fill in the rest, so I'm going to click while holding Alt, and I can clone it. Now, I could do stuff. I could darken it, maybe. So I'm going to reselect, and that will be a darkened color. I can also add a little soft light around it, which is sometimes good. A little soft light, maybe to blend. But I don't like any of those for this look. Can also change the size by clicking here. So maybe I want to get one of those big stars. Controls. No, I'm not going to press Control. I'm going to press Alt. And here we go. And also, if you watch, if you click and drag over, ooh, still on soft light. The best, I think, is normal, but there's a use for all. So if I press Control and I start dragging, it's going to start guessing what I want, which is cool, but it also erases other parts of the image. So you need to be careful. Let me show you what I mean about how if you're not careful, it can mess things up. That is much messier than it was, but if I keep going, yeah, I can start doing all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to press Undo a bunch and show you what I usually do. I usually point and shoot, so I press Alt. I want to copy this thing, and I want to put it there. Then I go back, change the size, get a bigger one, reselect. Here, maybe see if I'm in a blank spot, see what they do. That's nice. Maybe my size a little smaller, get this one, Alt, and click. So remember, you hold down Alt, click to select what you want to clone, and then you can click elsewhere on the photo to clone it. And it will try to guess, and sometimes it's nice, but sometimes it can just weaken the photo or delete what you've already done. So those are two different ways that you can use the clone tool. I also like you to show a more nuanced way. So this is a pretty simple pattern, really easy to use. But in a complicated pattern, you want to be careful. So I'm going to reselect something. In order to do that, I need to make sure that I am on the layer that the image is on. So I'm going to select elastic because I want to select portions of the letters that are more full to fill in some of my letters that are a little bit sparse. So as you can see, this is really sparse and this is really full, and I'd like to fill those in. So I'm going to press my clone tool. I'm going to make my size really small so I have more control, because when I found when it was big, it really didn't do me any good, just because it's so delicate, it's such an intricate pattern. So I'll show you what I mean. If I do this, Alt, click, and I come over here and try to fill it in, it really doesn't look real. I thought it cheapened. It's not as sharp as it was. It's a little, it weakens it. So I'm going to press Undo, and with a smaller one, where I felt like the normal looked good, but I'm going to do a little bit of darker. I'm going to go around. I can click here. I don't need it that small. Maybe size 25. Click a particular thick part. Try to copy. And maybe do too dark. And then, sorry. So I did too dark, and then I might start doing some normal ones. And here it is guessing, and that's actually pretty good, and that's looking a little bit more normal. I think I could be a little bit more selective on where I put them, but overall it's looking a lot more normal. So I want to fill in this L a little bit, so here we go. And the normal tool is doing a lot better for me than the darkened one, so I'm going to keep using it. And I'm being selective of what kind of color I'm using, so I can try to blend. I could even select from another one, like the same, to make sure it's more full. This is going to take a little bit of time. I'm not totally happy with this, but I am happy with the small improvements I did on my teeth. So that's 2 different ways that you can use this tool, and I hope that you find the clone tool helpful for your own pictures. Remember to, if you want more control, press Alt more often to select exactly what you want to clone. And if you would like to maybe see what Photoshop would like you to do, press Alt on one part of it, and so I can press Alt here, and then I could just figure out what Photoshop thinks. It's less control, but Photoshop does a pretty cool job. It cloned that exact portion. So have fun using the clone tool.